The show goes on, man.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hey friends, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the twice daily show series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my opinion on it, more importantly asking for yours. Look at that, the new Chelsea kit. Might even wear it soon. Today we are discussing lots of stuff that's going on. Pochettino's words on the much talked about Mykhailo Mudryk. What is Mudryk? And how good is he really? We'll discuss that. Chelsea on the brink of a new goalkeeper. And could we send Andre Santos to Nottingham Forest so we can get Brennan Johnson? Do we even want that? Let me know what you think as we go. Thank you for supporting the content as always by liking and subscribing onto the channel. It's a good opportunity for me to let you guys know, many of you who watch this will already be a subscriber to my until so recently dormant second YouTube channel called Football Yannick. I have cleared it. I've wiped the table clean with videos and I've uploaded a video today. It's not monetized, so don't worry, you don't have to watch ads on it. But yeah, Manchester United made the correct decision regarding Mason Greenwood and I've uploaded a video on that on there. I'll leave the link to that video in the top of the description so you can go watch it. And if you have unsubscribed to Football Yannick and you think now there's content back on there and you might be interested in resubscribing to that channel, yeah, please do click the link in the description and go either become a new subscriber to Football Yannick or resubscribe and support your boy. Alright then, so we've got lots to get into today. We're citing articles from Football.London, Evening Standard, and the Mail Online. Let's talk about goalkeepers first, from Nizar Kinsella of the Evening Standard. Chelsea are closing in on a £11.8 million deal to sign New England Revolution goalkeeper Georgie Petrovic. The 23-year-old Serb has emerged as Chelsea's top target to replace Kepa Arrizabalaga and will come in to back up the new number one Sanchez. You could say he's coming in to replace Robert Sanchez, who was replaced Kepa Arrizabalaga. That's what you could say, right? Petrovic is regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the MLS, and Chelsea are confident of wrapping up a deal before the summer transfer window ends, of course, at the end of the month. Chelsea urgently need a new goalkeeper after letting Kepa join Real Madrid on loan. Third choice Marcus Bettinelli is injured, oh Jesus, while 20-year-old Lucas Bergstrom has been on the bench for Chelsea's first two league games. I didn't even know Bettinelli was injured. Meanwhile, Chelsea midfielder Carney Chukwuemeka was set for scans today, so he collapsed and had a bad injury. Of course, we are crossing fingers, toes, bloody everything that you can cross, that Carney Chukwuemeka is okay. Under £12 million for a second choice goalkeeper makes sense to me. MLS produces good goalkeepers historically. I'm happy with this. I'm sure you guys are too. It's not overly the most high-octane, sexy signing, but that's okay. And especially when you don't have European midweek games where early doors you'd probably see your second choice goalkeeper get some minutes. He's coming for the bag, he's coming for Southwest London, he's coming for the Chelsea badge and the goalkeeping coaches. You know, you get that. Let me know what you think of the new goalkeeper, and let's move on. Okay, so the Mail Online, it is Simon Jones, who's, to be fair, relatively well informed despite writing for a feces rag. He writes, Nottingham Forest have turned to Chelsea's Andre Santos as they look to bolster their midfield. And this could help Pochettino. Right, instinctive, visceral gut reflex reactions. People might be like, not our Brazilian wonder kid, Andre Santos. But yeah, I mean, probably really good at Nottingham Forest, stayed up relatively comfortably in the end last season. They are a Premier League team. He could be a Premier League starter. Remember, he's still a teenager. We have got, in terms of first choice double pivot players, Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, nearly £60 million player. They're all ahead of him in 3 into 2. And even Gallagher looks like he's going to play there. So this is perfect opportunity for him to do well. As the Mail Sport revealed, Forest made a £30 million offer, for Monaco's Youssouf Fofana last week, but the 24-year-old France international is holding out for a better option. Yeah, from Monaco to Forest, I get it. Amid interest from Chelsea, Liverpool and West Ham this summer. So have we been looking at him? Well, we won't be looking at him now because we've signed loads of midfielders. So Santos has been excellent and been in excellent form in pre-season, but Chelsea are overloaded with expensive midfielders. We are now we've signed those 3 big boys. And our immediate concern is attack, yes. While happy with Nicholas Jackson's contributions, and indeed, everyone is rightly praising Nico Jackson. He hasn't scored yet, he hasn't assisted yet, so no goal involvements in the first 2 games, but he's a new player, and if you know a little bit about football, especially when you're watching it, you can say, this guy is playing well as a striker. So Chelsea are happy with his contributions, but we recognise we lack a goal threat and a creative number 10. Right, so that's what so lacking a goal threat and a creative number 10, you don't immediately go Brennan Johnson, do you? Especially if you're Chelsea. But whatever. Chelsea have been considering Forest's Brennan Johnson for a number of weeks, and the idea of loans such as Santos plus cash could secure the Wales international and appeals to some staff of the club. What staff of the club? And do we trust them, So the loss of Crystal Palace's Michael Olise over an alleged illegal approach came as a blow to plans. Of course, Lyon's coveted Bradley Barcola is expected to join Paris Saint-Germain. Bradley Saint-Germain. It will be once he signs for them. The winger is rated at £50 million. And is wanted from Tottenham and West Ham. Paramount to his decision, should a fee be agreed, is the amount of playing time he agrees. Hold on, why is Brennan Johnson £50 million? Am I just old? Have I just missed the boat? Have I missed a really sort of important, sort of salient transition period where now players are £50 million? Like, yeah, obviously, Jan, obviously, stop being so overreactive. Is he? Newcastle United, a Champions League team, just slapping everyone up at the moment. They were purchased for 300 million. 6 Brennan Johnsons. I don't know, maybe I'm the wrong one here. So the 22-year-old is understood to prefer Tottenham for that reason. Because he thinks he'll play, not because Tottenham are a better team, obviously. I don't know, you probably would play at Chelsea, mate. In recent weeks, Forest have also expressed an interest in Chelsea's Trevoh Chalobah. Yeah. But he has a hamstring injury. Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ian Maatsen. What is happening with Maatsen? Why isn't he being turned to in these desperate moments? The left back has been offered a new deal by Chelsea, but is unsure amid interest from West Ham and Borussia Dortmund as well. So Dortmund and West Ham both won... Ian Maatsen, who, is a left back, but played as a attacker for Chelsea in pre-season. Chelsea have got assets, like off the bat, there's 3 pure profit assets in Hudson-Odoi, Maatsen and Chalobah there. So Chelsea can still make some serious money on the books, but do we trust them to invest that money appropriately and win football matches and score goals, start by scoring goals? I don't know. So a guy called Gonzalo Montiel is expected to go to Forest for a medical from Sevilla. He's an Argentine right back and is apparently good, whatever. And this also references the fact how Chelsea are going to sign Petrovic, the MLS goalkeeper, which we've spoken about. Why is... I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi would be gone by now, especially with that really, really heavy Fulham interest. The reports are suggesting now it's Forest, Fulham, and Everton are really interested in Callum Hudson-Odoi still. Everton look absolutely terrible. I couldn't imagine any allure with them at the moment. Should have kept Frank Lampard, in my opinion. Anyway, Trevor, we've spoken about it to death with Trevor. If Trevoh or Connor go, it would be really sad. Do you know what passed me by? Conor Gallagher yesterday. That was his 100th Premier League appearance. So yeah, that happened that's like flew under the radar, didn't it? Especially considering he was it first team appearance or Premier League appearance? Because obviously he played for Charlton and Swansea and stuff. I should have double checked that. It might have been 100 senior. Or could it? It can't be. Could it be? No, it can't be 100 Premier League. Anyway, he's played a lot of games. He's doing very well. Good on you, lad. We might sell you, we might not. Who knows? All right, so I want to speak about this article by Bobby Vincent on Football.London because it talks about Mikhail Mudryk. Fans are losing patience with Mudryk. He's catching a lot of heat at the moment. He could cost up to £88 million. I want to talk about my thoughts on Mudryk in just a moment. But let's read this article from Bobby Vincent. Pochettino jumped to Mudryk's defence after the Chelsea attacker failed to make much of an impact, of course, against West Ham. The 22-year-old who cost Chelsea, who could eventually rise to £88 million, that fee, was brought on at half-time for the injured Chukwuemeka. Prior to Mudryk coming on, the Blues, who were controlling and dominating the Hammers, and the scores are level at 1-1. Is that down to Mudryk? The Ukrainian international was brought on to play as a number 10 behind Nico Jackson. It's a position we're not used to seeing Mudryk occupy, with the attacker normally operating on the left-hand side. However, he failed to make an impact. So on that, firstly, when you think of Misha Mudryk, you think of left-hand side, and you think of running into space. You don't think of centrally occupying and playing in the hole and trying to unlock a very low block. Like that's the opposite, right, of what he usually does. He had 2 real opportunities to score, but one was wasted and a really frustrating attacking display. Yeah, he wasn't particularly good. Mudryk had one moment where he did well to shift the ball onto his right foot and looked like he was about to smash it in, but of course he lost his footing and fell. It's one of those things, isn't it? There was another moment where Raheem Sterling clipped the ball to the far post and found Mudryk, but the Ukrainians' volleyed effort went wayward, leaving West Ham supporters cheer and mock the winger. Poor guy. Chelsea fans have been excited on this article, basically saying they're losing patience on him. That they don't think he's good. Essentially, he's just catching a lot of hate. It's on social media as well. Mudryk's been taking a lot of flack. After arriving in the January transfer window, there's massive expectations placed on Mudryk's shoulders. His brief cameo in the goalless draw at Anfield at January was super impressive. When he came off the bench. It's almost like he when he came off the bench of Anfield, he looked like pretty amazing. He looked like when Pulisic had those moments when he looked like the best like transitional player in the world in Project Restart. But surely coming off the bench when you've just signed at Anfield is like when the pressure's on, and that's when you should be doing all this bad stuff, not when you've settled. It's like he's done it the wrong way around. Pochettino has used Mudryk as a substitute in both Chelsea's opening games of the season. Mudryk was brought on earlier. That was quite initially planned because of course, the injury to Carney. Pochettino has jumped to the winger's defence. The Argentine coach believes the former Shakhtar Donetsk attacker still needs time before we see the best of him. Well, that's what he said as well. Poch says this: today he played 45 minutes. I think he's a young player that we need to trust and to build these relationships with. He has enormous quality and talent. It's only time for him to settle better with the team and find a way to perform the way that we expect. Interesting. Look, man. This is a player that I only really knew about when Arsenal first started trying to sign him. When they're trying to sign the window before we ended up signing him, maybe? I think they did. But Shakhtar were playing really, really hard bargain. Now, they said they look at Mudryk and what he can do and what his raw ability is. And they say, and was it the CEO, one of the big dogs of Shakhtar, I can't remember who it was, said, look, there's 2 left forwards better than Mudryk in the world, and that is Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. Which is high praise. And that wasn't saying that he's got the potential to be the 3rd best. They think he could be like a Ballon d'Or winner, as good as he wants to be, basically. But they said right now. So obviously that is massive, massive praise. And, Arsenal did bid a lot for him and Chelsea did bid a lot for him as well. So basically, I know it doesn't say much these days if Chelsea pay a lot for a player. It's not like, well, he must be amazing, because if Chelsea plays a lot for a player, that's just because they've decided they wanted him rather than him necessarily being worth that money. Saying that, though, Liverpool did bid £111 million for Moises Caicedo, which would have been a British transfer record anyway. Chelsea only offered £3 or £4 million more or whatever. So There is that, firstly, but like the idea of Mudryk is that he is potentially amazing. You know, you got Chile putting his arm around him, saying, you know, you can be the best, and saying to Chelsea media, this guy can be the best. Do you know what I mean? So the belief is there. We know he's incredibly athletic. He's probably the fastest player in the Premier League. He's like this young, God-fearing individual that just trains really, really hard every day and just, you know, maybe as that sort of like, maybe I think he's maybe got the work ethic of a Cristiano Ronaldo, with perhaps without the sort of self-belief, arrogance that maybe helps you along the way. Look, he's super fast. He's really fast at carrying the ball as well. So like he can dribble really fast, which is one thing. It's one thing just running in behind, but there's also essentially hauling ass in possession, which is another thing. If you can, because generally, you know, if you've got the ball, you're gonna run slower than the guy who hasn't. But not Mudryk, and technically he has these really impressive technical moments. So it's just like this really, really like incredible raw potential that's just so potent that, you know, coaches and managers and clubs believe if they can nurture it, they could just get something so incredible out of it. Like the raw materials are there. It's up to you to build it. Will it happen? I don't know. I don't think he should be catching the heat that he has, because, you know, he's young. He's a young player. I mean, 22 rather strangely not that young in football anymore, but it's still youngish. You know, in 3 years' time, it'll be 25. I know, great maths. Which, you don't think of a player being old at 25, but think of how much he can achieve in those 3 years to settle in to who he is as a player in the Premier League landscape. And lest we forget, brother is on a 47-year contract like the rest of these signings, so he's going to be hanging around for a good while now. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I put it out to you guys. Mudryk, what are your thoughts, feelings, and opinions? I look forward to reading them down in the comment section below. Thank you for supporting the content as always. Do go check out the video I did on Mason Greenwood. I'll link it in the top of the description. Yeah, thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again. Peace.